Yes, it is likely that one is holding on to guilt. It is likely, and it is also possible for one to hold on to guilt, not knowing that they're holding on to guilt and they had done it to themselves. That guilt is in you because you did something to receive it. Guilt does not sit in one's heart when you had done nothing. So when one is feeling guilt, then there must have been something that started it. And I suppose one needs to get to the root of the answer. Else you are to sit with it and understand why you have the guilt in your heart. And I'm getting collective that it is likely sometimes that you forget yourself. Why you even did it to yourself. It is that you had a moment where you were unconscious. It was very impulsive. It was perhaps something that you had to do. And now that guilt started in you and you didn't know this whole time that guilt was inside of you. Until you had gotten yourself out of the situation, removed yourself from that person, and now all of a sudden you feel a guilt. Where is that guilt coming from? That is a message for somebody. Something that one had created, because guilt cannot be just sitting there if you didn't do anything. That's the message for somebody, and that's coming up pretty strong because one can very much deceive oneself when you are holding on to guilt because it's too hard to fathom it. So don't turn against yourself when you're holding on to guilt. Instead, forgive. One must not turn against the feeling of guilt. One must face the guilt and sit in acceptance of it. Because one may have a tendency to go against the guilt and deceive yourself. It's either in this moment to be really honest, to get really honest with yourself, or not honest with yourself. And so what happens when you're not honest with yourself about the guilt? You turn against yourself. And then you start to deceive yourself again. You're in that cycle again of going against you. The devil wants us to go against what is right and what is just. We, as humans, in our nature, it is in our nature to get right and to get in order. The devil just likes to confuse us and to deceive ourselves so that we are not right.